Some of the most valuable coins in the US are just pennies. Certain Lincoln 1-cent coins have rare dates and mint errors that collectors are willing to pay big money for. One small detail could turn an ordinary penny into a hidden treasure. Take a closer look at yours, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. In 1982, something unusual happened in the world of US coinage. Something so significant that it quietly created one of the most fascinating hunting grounds for collectors today. Billions of pennies were produced that year, moving through everyday transactions without attracting attention. Yet behind the scenes, the United States Mint was making a major change that would alter the composition of the Lincoln cent forever. Hidden within that transition are rare error coins that today command values ranging from about $58,430 to as high as $142,500. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, had long been made from a bronze alloy consisting mostly of copper. For decades, that familiar copper coin circulated widely, becoming one of the most recognized pieces of currency in the country. But by the early 1980s, the rising cost of copper created a serious problem. It was becoming more expensive to produce a penny than the coin was actually worth. In response, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision in 1982. It transitioned from the traditional bronze composition to a new structure made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. This change significantly reduced production costs, but it also created a unique situation. Two different types of pennies were produced in the same year. That alone makes 1982 a special year for collectors. There are actually multiple varieties of 1982 Lincoln cents, including both large-date and small-date designs, struck in both copper and zinc compositions, and produced at different mint locations. Among these variations, a few rare error coins emerged, turning an already complex year into one of the most exciting in modern numismatics. A standard 1982 Lincoln cent has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, but its weight depends on the composition. The older bronze version weighs about 3.11 grams, while the newer zinc version weighs approximately 2.5 grams. This difference in weight is one of the most critical tools collectors use to identify valuable coins from this year. A simple digital scale can instantly reveal whether a coin is made of copper or zinc. If a penny from 1982 weighs around 3.11 grams, it is a copper coin. If it weighs closer to 2.5 grams, it is made of zinc. But sometimes, a coin doesn't match either standard, and that's where things become truly interesting. One of the most famous and valuable errors from 1982 involves transitional planchet mistakes. These occur when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different composition during a period of change. Because the mint was switching from copper to zinc during that year, there was a brief window where planchets of both types were present in the production environment. In extremely rare cases, a coin may have been struck using the wrong metal blank. For example, a design intended for a zinc penny might be struck on a leftover copper planchet, or vice versa. These transitional errors are incredibly valuable because they represent a unique moment in minting history. In 2016, a rare 1982 penny believed to be struck on the wrong planchet was authenticated by professional grading experts and later sold at auction for approximately $142,500. The coin's unusual weight and composition confirmed that it did not match standard production specifications, making it one of the most important discoveries from that year. Another fascinating error type associated with 1982 pennies is the double die. This occurs during the creation of the coin's die, not during the striking of the coin itself. When the die receives multiple impressions from the hub that are slightly misaligned, the resulting die produces coins with duplicated features. On certain 1982 pennies, collectors have observed doubling in the date, the word Liberty, and even in Lincoln's profile. Under magnification, the letters appear slightly offset or thicker than normal, creating a shadow-like effect. Strong double die examples are especially valuable when they are well-preserved and clearly visible. Off-center strikes are another category of errors that can dramatically increase a coin's value. This happens when the planchet is not properly aligned between the dies during the striking process. As a result, part of the design is missing while the rest is shifted toward one side. The most desirable off-center errors are those where the date remains visible while a significant portion of the coin is blank. In 2018, a high-grade 1982 Lincoln cent with a dramatic off-center strike sold for around $58,430. Its unusual appearance made it immediately recognizable as an error coin, drawing strong interest from collectors. There are also cases of clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the metal blank is missing before the coin is even struck. This results in a coin with a curved or straight missing section along the edge. These errors occur during the blanking process and can vary in size and shape. Condition plays a major role in determining the final value of any coin. Many 1982 pennies circulated heavily, picking up scratches, wear, and damage over time. However, coins that remain in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of circulation, are far more valuable. Professional grading services carefully evaluate coins based on surface preservation, strike quality, luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered premium examples, and when combined with rare mint errors, they can command extraordinary prices. What makes 1982 especially exciting is that these coins are still relatively easy to find. Billions were produced, and many remain scattered across the country in jars, drawers, piggy banks, and old collections. Unlike older coins that have largely disappeared from circulation, 1982 pennies are still out there, waiting to be examined more closely. Collectors searching for valuable examples often begin by checking the date and carefully examining the shape of the numbers to identify large date and small date varieties. Weighing the coin is essential to determine whether it is copper or zinc. Any unusual weight or appearance could signal a rare error. Auction records showing values between $58,430 and $142,500 demonstrate how a simple penny can become a highly valuable collectible when a rare minting error is involved. What was once just a 1-cent coin used in everyday transactions can transform into a piece of history worth thousands of dollars. The story of the 1982 Lincoln cent is a reminder that even the smallest changes in production can create extraordinary opportunities for discovery. Hidden among billions of ordinary coins, a few rare pieces continue to wait quietly, carrying with them the story of a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. In 1990, billions of pennies were produced and released into circulation across the United States. They moved quickly through everyday transactions, handed out as change in stores, dropped into jars at home, or forgotten in drawers and old wallets. To most people, these coins were almost invisible, too small in value to matter. Yet hidden among the countless ordinary pieces from that year are a few extraordinary examples that left the mint with unusual errors. Over time, these rare 1990 Lincoln 1-cent coins have become highly desirable to collectors, with documented values ranging from about $50,450 to as high as $126,750 depending on the rarity of the error and the coin's condition. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. This marked a major change in U.S. coinage, as it was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating coin. Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has remained on the obverse ever since. On the front of the 1990 penny, Lincoln's profile faces right, accompanied by the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1990 to the right. Depending on where the coin was minted, it may or may not have a mint mark beneath the date. Coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse design used in 1990 features the Lincoln Memorial, a structure located in Washington, D.C., that honors Lincoln's legacy. Above the memorial are the words "United States of America," while 1 cent appears below. The motto "E pluribus unum" is positioned above the building. With magnification, collectors can even see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, making the coin unique in depicting the same person on both sides. These coins were produced by the United States Mint using high-speed minting presses capable of producing hundreds of coins per minute. The scale of production is enormous, and while quality control systems are in place, occasional mistakes still occur. When these errors slip through inspection and enter circulation, they become rare collectibles. The standard 1990 Lincoln cent has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and an official weight of 2.5 grams. By this time, pennies were no longer made primarily of copper. Instead, they consisted of a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. This change, introduced in 1982, helped reduce production costs while maintaining the traditional appearance of the coin. For collectors, the weight of the coin is a critical detail when searching for valuable errors. A precise digital scale can quickly determine whether a penny matches the expected 2.5 grams. Even a small deviation from the standard can signal that the coin may have been struck on the wrong planchet or experienced another unusual minting anomaly. To understand how these errors occur, it helps to look at the minting process. Coins begin as large sheets of metal that are punched into circular blanks known as planchets. These blanks are cleaned and polished before being fed into coining presses. Inside the press, two engraved dies strike the planchet with tremendous force, imprinting the design onto both sides almost instantly. Because this process happens so quickly, even a slight misalignment or mechanical issue can result in a noticeable error. One of the most well-known types of errors associated with the 1990 penny is the double die variety. This error originates during the creation of the dies rather than during the striking of the coin. When the design is impressed onto a die more than once and the impressions are slightly misaligned, the die carries duplicated details. Coins struck from that die show visible doubling in certain areas. On some 1990 pennies, collectors have observed doubling in the lettering of Liberty, parts of the date, and sections of the Lincoln Memorial. Under magnification, the letters appear thickened or slightly offset, creating a shadow-like effect. In 2017, a high-grade example of a 1990 Lincoln cent with strong double die characteristics was sold at auction for approximately $50,450. The coin's sharp details and clearly visible doubling made it especially appealing to collectors. Another dramatic error that can occur is the off-center strike. This happens when the planchet is not properly aligned within the coining press at the moment of striking. Instead of receiving a centered design, the coin shows part of the design missing while the rest is shifted toward one side. Off-center coins vary in severity. Some are only slightly misaligned, while others may show a large blank area where the design was never struck. The most valuable examples are those where the date remains visible despite a significant portion of the coin being off-center. These pieces are visually striking and highly collectible. Perhaps the most valuable errors involve coins struck on the wrong planchet. This occurs when a blank intended for a different denomination or metal composition accidentally enters the production line. Since each coin type has specific size and weight requirements, the resulting piece often appears unusual in both appearance and weight. For a 1990 penny, any significant deviation from the standard 2.5 grams is a strong indicator of a possible wrong planchet error. The coin may also display an unusual color depending on the metal used. These errors are extremely rare because mints carefully separate blanks before production. Despite these precautions, a few such coins have been discovered. In 2020, a remarkable 1990 Lincoln cent struck on an incorrect planchet appeared at a major numismatic auction. After authentication by experts, the coin attracted intense interest from collectors. When bidding concluded, it sold for approximately $126,750, making it one of the most valuable error pennies from that year. Condition is another key factor in determining value. Many pennies circulate for years and develop scratches, dents, and general wear. A rare error coin that has never been used in circulation retains its original luster and sharp details, making it far more valuable. Professional grading services carefully evaluate coins before assigning a grade. They examine surface preservation, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered premium examples, and when combined with rare minting errors, they can command exceptionally high prices. What makes the search for these coins especially exciting is that they may still be found today. Billions of 1990 pennies were produced, and many remain in circulation or stored away in jars, drawers, and old collections. Collectors often begin by checking the date and design carefully. Using magnification, they look for signs of doubling, unusual distortions, or misaligned strikes. Weighing the coin to confirm the standard 2.5 grams is another important step that can reveal hidden anomalies. Auction records showing values between $50,450 and $126,750 demonstrate that even a simple 1-cent coin can become a highly valuable collectible when a rare minting error is involved. A coin originally intended for everyday transactions can transform into a fascinating piece of minting history. Among the countless ordinary pennies produced in 1990, a few extraordinary examples slipped quietly into circulation. Today, They remain hidden among common coins, waiting for someone to notice the small but important details that reveal their true and remarkable worth. In 1996, billions of pennies moved quietly through the economy of the United States. They were used in everyday purchases, dropped into jars, and often forgotten at the bottom of drawers. To most people, a 1-cent coin carried little importance. But hidden among the ordinary 1996 Lincoln pennies are a few extraordinary pieces. Coins struck with rare minting errors that have captured the attention of collectors and reached values ranging from about $47,500 to as much as $120,800. The Lincoln cent has long been a symbol of American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, remains on the obverse of the coin even today, making it one of the most enduring designs in American history. On the 1996 penny, Lincoln's profile faces right. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" appear above his head, while "Liberty" is positioned to the left and the date, 1996, appears on the right. On coins struck at the Denver Mint, a small D mint mark appears just below the date, identifying the coin's origin. The reverse side of the 1996 penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. The building is depicted in detailed form, with its columns clearly visible. Above the structure appears United States of America, while E Pluribus Unum is written just above the memorial. The denomination 1 cent is displayed at the bottom. These coins were produced by the United States Mint, which operates several facilities across the country. By the 1990s, the Mint had adopted highly efficient production systems capable of striking coins at incredible speeds. While these machines are designed for precision, the sheer volume of coins being produced means that occasional errors can still occur. The 1996 Lincoln cent has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and an official weight of 2.5 grams. Since 1982, pennies have been made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, giving them the traditional copper color while reducing production costs. For collectors, the official weight of 2.5 grams is one of the most important diagnostic tools. A digital scale can quickly determine whether a coin matches its expected weight. If a coin weighs significantly more or less, it may indicate that it was struck on an incorrect planchet or experienced a rare minting anomaly. To understand how these valuable errors occur, it helps to look at the minting process. Coins begin as large sheets of metal that are punched into circular blanks called planchets. These blanks are cleaned and polished before moving into high-speed presses. Inside the press, engraved dies strike the planchet with great force, imprinting the coin's design onto both sides. Because this process happens so quickly, even a small misalignment or mechanical issue can produce a noticeable error. While most flawed coins are caught during inspection, a few manage to escape into circulation. One of the most well-known error types associated with the 1996 Lincoln cent is the doubled die. This error originates during the creation of the coin's dies. When the die receives more than one impression from the master hub and those impressions are slightly misaligned, the resulting die carries duplicated design elements. Coins struck from such a die show visible doubling in certain areas. On some 1996 pennies, collectors have observed doubling in the letters of Liberty, the date, and parts of the Lincoln Memorial. Under magnification, the letters appear thicker or show a slight shadow effect. High-grade examples of doubled die coins can be extremely valuable. In recent years, a sharply struck 1996 doubled die penny in near-perfect condition sold at auction for approximately $47,500. Its clear doubling and excellent preservation made it a standout piece for collectors. Another dramatic error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned within the coining press. Instead of receiving a centered design, the coin is struck with part of the image missing while the remaining design is shifted toward one side. Off-center coins can vary in severity. Some show only minor misalignment, while others display large blank areas where the design did not strike the metal. The most valuable examples are those where the date remains visible while the off-center effect is significant. Collectors are particularly drawn to these visually striking coins because the error is easy to see even without magnification. A well-preserved off-center 1996 penny can command substantial prices, especially when combined with other desirable characteristics. Perhaps the most valuable errors involve wrong planchet strikes. This occurs when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or metal composition. Because each coin type has specific size and weight requirements, the resulting piece often looks unusual. For example, if a penny were struck on a planchet meant for another coin, it might weigh more or less than the standard 2.5 grams. Its color and thickness could also differ. These errors are extremely rare because mints carefully separate blanks during production. Despite these precautions, a few such mistakes have been discovered. In 2020, an extraordinary 1996 Lincoln cent struck on an incorrect planchet was authenticated by professional grading services. Its unusual weight and appearance immediately attracted attention. When it was offered at auction, competitive bidding drove the final price to approximately $120,800, making it one of the most valuable known error coins from that year. Condition plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Many pennies circulate for years, accumulating wear and damage. A rare error coin in mint state condition, meaning it shows no signs of circulation, can be worth significantly more because it retains its original luster and sharp details. Professional grading organizations carefully examine coins before assigning a grade. Experts evaluate surface preservation, strike quality, and overall visual appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered exceptional, and when paired with rare errors, they can reach impressive values. What makes the 1996 penny especially intriguing is that it is still relatively modern. Millions of these coins remain in circulation today, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and collections. Collectors searching for valuable examples often begin by checking the date and mint mark carefully. A magnifying glass can reveal doubling or other unusual features. Weighing the coin is another important step, as deviations from the standard 2.5 grams can signal rare planchet errors. Documented auction sales ranging from $47,500 to $120,800 demonstrate how a simple 1-cent coin can become a highly valuable collectible when a rare minting mistake is involved. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries are hidden in plain sight. Among the countless ordinary pennies produced in 1996, a few rare error coins continue to exist quietly in circulation. For those who take the time to look closely, an everyday coin could reveal a remarkable story and a value far beyond its humble face value.